Good day, everyone, and welcome once again to the Quantum Cafe and the Interstellar Lounge with your host here, the Cosmic Messenger, aka Derek Pennett. I'm a Lightbody technician, Reiki master teacher, and metaphysical activator, metaphysician, luminary, aura scanning specialist. So much awesome. I work as an energy healing practitioner. I've been doing this work since 2016, and as a starseed incarnating onto this planet for the very first time, I'm here to assist many of the creatures on Earth, sentient beings, earthlings, other starseeds, to unravel the mysteries of the multiverse and to bring in all of the mechanics of quantum ascension and help each other move through it. As we place the hands on the body when I'm doing sessions, the soul starts to speak. If you've never had an energy healing session before, I highly recommend it. Pick a high vibrational practitioner or reach out to me if you need any assistance, and allow yourself to have a very profound experience. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Healing takes time, just like going to the gym to work out to get really strong, right? Now, the Quantum Cafe and Interstellar Lounge, if you've been on my channel before, you're well familiar that we talk about everything from 144 avatar codes all the way to Lionsgate portal and everything in between. It's a multidimensional hub that brings in the gateways of all the different frequencies that are existing in all realms of energetic healing, metaphysical awakenings, multidimensional realities, quantum time, all that lovely stuff. So if you are new to the channel, that's what will be expressed on a consistent, regular basis. I have, that's the zone, that's the portal. And I also do sometimes some crystal videos as well too, explaining some of the healing properties as well. So it's a pleasure to be back with everyone. I've been lots of stuff going on lately. It's been an abundance of happenings, lots of sessions at the Star Temple where I'm located today, recording this video. And I've been also really busy. Beautiful amounts of abundance entering my field for my very first order of the Metamorphosis Oracle deck that I've created. So it's called Metamorphosis Activation and Empowerment Deck Ultra Premium Oracle. And so it took a solar year, but I got 50 beings and 50 copies lined up so that we could order a bulk order and get the price reduced. I don't have a publisher at the moment, an external publisher, so I have a bulk site where you can buy them regularly online. So head over to my link tree, which will be at the end of the video, and there's a link there for the Oracle deck as well too. So that said, that's been keeping me really going because I'm just in the process right now of putting together that first order. Now, in terms of the multidimensional fields of reality, wow, there's so much happening, so much awesomeness going on. Today I'm going to specifically talk about what are light codes. That's going to be the theme for the show today. And then I also wanted to briefly mention that coming up, already happened by the time you watch this video, we had the 1212 Gateway portal in December, which opens up the 12th dimensional templates, 9th dimensional templates to enter the grid work of Earth and then be installed into our DNA if we choose to pull in and request those frequencies to come into our interstellar fields. There is so much happening right now with winter solstice coming up and like the full moon tomorrow. By the time you watch the video, who knows? These are pre-recorded. A lot of the time I try to launch them if they're on power days, if that's the plan for the main focus of the video. But it's a full moon in Gemini as well too with a T-square. So we got a whole bunch of awesome happening, and then in the near the end of December-ish, I guess it's kind of middle, around the 18th to 20th, 27 degrees Sagittarius, we are pointed all the way directly to the galactic center. So lots of amazing happening as well too. If anybody's curious, I also wanted to show off these new creations. My business partner, Hillary Raven Porter. Let's see if we can get there we go. These are blue cobalt bottles that are engraved with light language symbols. So light encoded sacred symbols. She does them by hand. We sell them right out of the Star Temple. They're absolutely incredible. They come with transmissions, which are handwritten. They're gorgeous when you open them up. We have two different sizes, 750 mils and 1 liters as well too. So it's either versions of like customs for you to get downloaded or based on a lot of stuff, transmissions that come through Tamiana, which my two modalities, main ones are Reiki and Tamiana. Specifically, Sacred Heart Tamiana, and multidimensional Reiki. So let's dive into the medicines for today. Let's have a chat about light codes. So some of you may have heard that term before. Wow, the light codes are increasing. I'm feeling the light codes. But what exactly are these light codes? Light codes are pocket filaments of light encoded filaments that are inside of all of the energetics that we are working with. They also come from the sun through its sun rays, and they beam onto Earth. You could think of it as like the cellular makeup for all of the energetics. Okay? Now, one individual light code is a symbol. It's a makeup. It's like a snowflake. There's no two that are exactly the same. And so if I have a whole bunch of light codes coming through my hands because I've been activated while doing a session or using a tuning fork and the light codes are coming out, we're not working with one light code. We're working with 1 to the power of 1 million. There is thousands of these symbols and light encoded signatures that come and dance. The light codes dance throughout all of the energy waves, right? And light encoded filaments, because they light us up, they ignite us, they move parts of us inside of our human energy field. I say hue, man, because we are a hue of energy and color, and it moves through our system. And what that does is it sends out pulsations into the galactic field, right? Make sure my recorder's on there, good. And then, through that pulsations of the galactic field, that enters into our being and then sends pockets of little informational bits coming out to play. And each one of them holds a key code to our existence. Yes, there is quadrillions to the power of 777. It's a lot to navigate, a lot to keep track of, but also at the same time it continuously helps make life fresh. Some of us can see these light codes and see the symbols. There's a lot of beings right now that are working with them regularly through energetic healing sessions, calling them in through sacred ceremonies while people are gathered around a central source. Or there's other beings who are using a lot of their hands to like draw and move these movements, right? Which kind of combos up with light language. And so these light codes are emitted during those processes. And if you're not aware of it, you're a cranial sacral practitioner, maybe you're even a massage therapist, but you're really tapped into your energy field, or you're doing esoteric acupuncture, or you're like really deep in human design transmissions, right? You're having a QHHT quantum healing hypnosis technique, or you're laying on a monochord table and all the strings underneath the table are being played. Once we start to generate and dive in, the light codes increase the quotient of what's going around in our field. And then you might see like 10 of them, 20 of them come together and unite into a common field. And they can turn into another symbol and shape shift from that point. It might be the codes for expanding more kundalini throughout your being. These might be light codes that are coming and entering ourselves to rewire some of the patterns, behaviors, and routines that are no longer serving us as we move forward with our new transformative self. So there's a lot to ponder with these light codes, right? And they bend time and space. They exist through all dimensions. But whatever baseline you're working with, so for us, with a third dimensional viewpoint, it brings it into the field, and then it's visible through that reality, which your lens of your eyes, your extrasensory perceptions, your mind thought patterns are then picking them up, right? Light codes are really, really special. There's not one practitioner or one being that is not emitting them in some form. You can call upon light codes to also increase the value while working on a session. For instance, I'm going to pull out one of my tuning forks. So this one right here is Scorpio fork, right? Pluto specifically. You tap it, boom, on the activator, I have a little pad that you can put on around your thigh, and then you tap it. And when this is then placed onto the body and you feel its vibrations, you're getting sound healing frequencies. But you're also creating a vortex of light codes. No different would be if we were pulling out a crystal, or perhaps a necklace in this form of organite. This is carnelian, this is organite, right? It's got Metatron's cube on the front. So we bring those in and we have them on the body, or we're holding them for a while. These create portals to other dimensions. They create vortexes which spin the energy. And then that enables these light codes to come through. You could think of it as the language and the symbols for all of the energetics that are coming through. Translations of light codes don't always come instantly. Sometimes it takes many days or a few weeks to unravel what's going on. They enter your auric field, and then they dance throughout our being, right? When individuals are speaking light language, they're emitting light codes through them, speaking them through the auditory channels, and this sends plasma out into the field, and it mixes with colors and sacred geometry and multidimensional vibrational currents, plus the beams from the sun and the photonic light as well too. And this is amazing. They all combo together. And you could almost think of it as like, if you were visualizing light codes, almost a bunch of little particles making fractals. Or it would be like series of like downloadable petroglyphs, hieroglyphs being drawn upon reality. Oh, there's thousands of them. I couldn't keep track of it. That's okay. You're not supposed to, especially in this third dimensional existence. However, by allowing them and inviting them into your being, you will increase how many more will come. And these are healing frequencies. They benefit you. They up the vibrational current so that you can host more of that kundalini, that universal life force energy inside of you. Now, if you see them in the forms of hieroglyphs, start to really look at them. And if you have thousands of them coming, that's fine. But then pick a couple that get highlighted. Ooh, there's one over there and one over here. And then invite them to come into your field, to visualize them, to see them, and hold that form as long as possible. And that would be a specific light code that's working with you. Write it down. Put it in a journal. Draw it out. Cool. Now that's written down, either in that moment or in a separate occasion, come back to the ones you drew down. Request to Prime Creator, the Akashic Records, the Cosmic Internet, your higher self, all of your guides, your transdimensionals working with you in all multidimensional timelines. Call in the request for the spiritual informational downloads to move through you for the particular symbol you're working with. Request its name, whatever form that comes in, and then just sit there and wait and just think about the transmissions that are coming through you. Open yourself up to source. Use breath work. Have some crystals around you. And then write down all of the transmissions that come through. For some of us, it's going to be automatic writing. For others, it might come out one phrase at a time. And then you'll have an idea what that light code was working with and for in that moment. Because you can bring it back into existence and then utilize it again in a future template. No different than those cobalt blue bottles that I showed you, that my business partner Hillary Raven Porter puts together. We're keeping them encoded on the bottle so that they can rewire the field when they're enacted with them. But as they come in and enter our reality, every single one is going to be continuously fresh. So what could you do with these light codes? You could request for them to come out of your hands, place them on the body, and do some divine energy healing. You might be an aura scanning worker, or working more in the auric field and doing a little ceremonial work. And you could be moving your hands through the field while you're like working with the energies. And then you could bring in those light codes to mend holes, fill up different spots depending on what one needs to be coded in. Maybe these are ancient memories of your human energy field. planets you've been on, places you've gone. They don't always just, they appear on Earth, but that doesn't mean light codes all came from Earth. They come from other star systems. They come from other planets. They come from other galaxies, dimensions throughout the multiverse. They journey with you when you come through stargates and when you time warp and you move. But also Mother Earth, Gaia, who's alive, is also creating light codes on a consistent, regular basis. We call them codes because they are made of light and they are made of codes. And we are an operating system. The human biological form is actually a crystalline form, meaning it resonates more with crystals than carbon base. Hence why we're so affected by frequencies, be it EMF or be it energy healing. It plays a huge part in our field, either enhancing it or disrupting it. Light codes come in the 0 point fields, dead center. They go deep into the cells and they go in to the DNA and they bring that fusion with all of our subtle bodies and they dance between the spaces between the cells. And they pull in each code, rewiring our operating system, which we are, and then it sends new informational waves through our being. These are happening all day, every day. But if we are consciously, asleep a little bit more, talking consciousness-wise, we're very much just operating on base 3D. We are going to have less conscious awareness of them around us, let alone even noticing that they're doing anything to us on any form or degree. So light codes play a really important part of reality. If we could draw them out with a graphic and show them animating, this entire room, when we're tapping into that field, would be full of them. All over the place. Reality is hyper alive like that. But then when there's those influxes, right? You have an eclipse, or you're feeling like aligned with Source and Creator, and you're standing in your element, and you've done a whole bunch of healing work, you can really feel it elevating, right? It's amazing when you intermix like the feminine body and the masculine body and all of the divine masculine feminine principles and the whole spectrum between them. But like you can make some amazing currents come that way, both in the vertical access power of the masculine body, but with the feminine body, it does push it just a little octave higher because they naturally, through womb consciousness and intuitive abilities, pull in those light codes on a more consistent and regular basis. But the key here is to request them to come, to pay attention to them, and to know them. We have our cells, which we talked about how they're encoded and they make up all the different elements of our cells, right? Because they go inside of them. They dance with the mitochondria. Are they one with it? Technically, but they are not separate, but it is a light code that comes and enters into our being and then gets activated through that parameter. Many beings out there know the Reiki symbols and they work with them regularly. And so the Reiki symbols aren't exactly a light code, but they activate light codes to then get sent into the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. Hence why you get to work with 4 main ones. And so just think of how those symbols are drawn is how it could look in different ways for light codes. Here, I'll show you something else too as well. There's various forms of these guys. I'm just going to show you a couple, but from Tamiana, there's these light encoded signatures. So you could think of like some of the symbols as going in these directions. That's Homatai, you got Nemate, and no two will look the same. Soma, right? The other one to pay attention to that I want to remind everyone is to not doubt them when they come. You have a new light encoded symbol come your way, you're like, yeah, I drew it out, but I don't know about that. Not sure. Kind of doubting it. That is something that I would like you to attempt to move through, to step through that gateway, to know that whenever it came, each one that was transmitted was completely unique and is very real. Here, check this one out. Still with you here. I'm grabbing another one. We're in the Star Temple. This one is one of the sections that you use for distance healing when setting up the grid for Tamiana. Look at that. They're going to come in all sorts of shapes, colors, and unique signatures. They emit sound. They emit energy current, and they bring through these vibrations. And we want to use them so that we can enhance our consciousness, stay fully connected to all of our oversoul, bring in the environmental changes around us that we want to enhance for society, that we want to create this new elevated earth, one that is free from all of the conditioning that we've experienced. It brings in vitalization. Light codes go into food. They go into nutrients. They're coming out of a multidimensional gong while it's being played. So if it's going into the nutrients of the food, then it's also going into elements as they're being grown from seed. The fruits, the vegetables, the legumes, the seeds, they're very special. And they all carry their light codes, and as we increase our value and increase the environment around us, then everything can become more biodynamic. And through that biodynamic living, a few bites of food go that much longer. We live that much longer, and our environment is completely free of anything that has to do with toxins. It cleanses the ley lines. These light codes come through sacred sites, crop circles, all the different ways that elements are transmitted onto Earth through the galactic center, right? Or maybe we're tuned into a specific star nation like the Pleiades, Orion, Sirius. And that can also send light-encoded transmissions. We're talking about one being right now emitting these light codes or bringing them in. Or other sources bathing this planet in so much of it. Now, imagine this. Imagine when multiple humans get together and combo up their fields and then quadruple, triple, double, etc., etc. All of the frequencies will be amplified by double for each person that you put into the mix. No less than that. So we do have natural superpowers. Our heart field frequencies are filled with the potential to emit those light codes. And then that what happens is it oscillates around our bodies, right? And that pulls in all the sequences and the frequencies to start to move and spin, which affects our Merkaba spin patterning, right? It puts us in the touch of the seat of our master intentions that our soul created. It takes a look at any of the negative energy implants or stuff that was been moved into our etheric double in our operating system. It keeps all intense lower vibrational entities away from our field in nefarious ways. It brings in crystalline abundance from the universe, which unless we create it in the human field, or reality decides to create it, everything is magical. It all has a purpose from the shadow to the light. And the light codes help us do that dance between all of them so that we can fuse our reality in deep, powerful ways as we work through the ascension process and the reawakening of our being and learn to live once again without ease. Learn to live with harmonic equilibrium. Feeling the elements moving through us and knowing that everything we come into contact with is nurturing our soul. These light codes are gifts from the universe. They're here to help, assist, and awaken humanity. Go to the light codes. Let them oscillate through your being and feel their multidimensional presence all around you and working through you. Thanks for listening, everyone. This concludes another transmission from the Quantum Cafe and Interstellar Lounge I'll have my link down at the end of the video if anybody would like to utilize my services. Either they want to interview me for a metaphysical podcast, or they want to access any of my creations, Oracle deck, metaphysical music, energy encoded artwork, etc., or book in a healing session both in person in Victoria, BC, or long distance as well too, which those sessions are so powerful. Just reach out. I am an email away, thecosmicmessenger33@gmail.com. Hope everyone has a most fantastic day deluxe. Enjoy the winter solstice power up, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everyone. To all the earthlings, earth seeds, star seeds, sentient creatures of earth, we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everyone. Have a beautiful day.